My name is Saadu HASHIM RACHID. I work with the National Museums of Kenya, based at National Museums of Kenya Heritage Training Institute. My current position is coordinator and training manager. I'm in charge of training programs for museum staff and other interested groups in heritage and Swahili culture and Swahili language. Previously, I was the principal curator of For Jesus, and I've also worked as education officer also in For Jesus, Mombasa.
My name is Fatma TWAHIR. I'm the principal curator of For Jesus. I've been a curator at For Jesus since 2017. For Jesus is a military structure that was built by the Portuguese in 1593 to 1596 to oversee the maritime trade that was happening along the East African coast. And in Mombasa, it would have been mainly positioned at the old port. So the fort was constructed in order to become a symbol of strength, to oversee and ensure that the trade is controlled and managed. And having that function, it was the place to take over control in order to be able to control the city. So after 100 years of rule, the Omanis took over the fort and the management of the Mombasa town around 1698. And with the coming of the British in 1890, the fort then changed from being a place of rule and security to a prison. So during the colonial time, the fort was being used as a prison. However, in 1960, the British realized that there's a lot of heritage in the building, and they shifted out the prison. And with that, they gazetted the site as a heritage site and opened it up to the public. So we have archaeological surveys happening, construction of a museum gallery, and now it is a site that is appreciated by the local and the national population as a heritage site. Come June 2011, then it was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. And now For Jesus is a World Heritage Site based on two criteria. Number one is unique architecture, the form, the construction technique and the materials used were unique to the region. And the second aspect is its ability to conform, to change, to undertake different cultural values within time, the local influence, the Persian, the Portuguese, Omanis, British, up to the time where it's currently being used as a heritage site for both local and international values. So it has proved itself to be a site of international significance. Yeah.
Actually, slavery is a very sensitive subject, and through this Slafnet project, I can say we actually provide an avenue, forum, where the local people could share their experiences and their history, and we come to learn more about slavery and the experience of, the slavery era in our country. And we also, as a museum, I think it provided a forum where the museum talked with the community. So I can say through like the workshop that we had, we got a chance to learn on methodologies and how you can teach or approach the subject of slavery to schools and the colleges. So that for me is a big plus, because it is a subject or an issue that has been somehow not easy to talk about and to even teach. So through that workshop that we had, we actually equipped our teachers, secondary school teachers and lecturers, and they went with skills and knowledge on how they can approach slavery. And also for the slavery topic, we also, as a museum, this one gave us a chance to rethink about slavery. So we had more discussions now with the community, and also give us also that sort of like interest. We got more interest now to learn about the subject of slavery. And I can say we also open up with the community especially like the free slave communities that we have in Rabai, in Freetown, in Mombasa. So this Slafnet project as a whole gave us that chance, to reopen up, to retalk, to reteach and learn, and even appreciate slavery as part of our history and culture also. Yeah.
It was an eye-opening experience for me too, having to meet the people who did all the research and from different parts of Africa, and understanding the sensitivity of the topic and having the ability to not just discuss but also present it in different media. So at For Jesus we have permanent exhibitions, and we also have spaces for temporary exhibitions, and we're always keen to have new methods of presenting information. So with that workshop we were able to do an audiovisual display of slavery roots. It was the first time we actually did it at For Jesus, and we're looking forward to doing more of such presentation of exhibitions, so that you can get to, it's not the traditional exhibition panels and information texts and artifacts. You get to hear and listen and understand and get the tone of the person being interviewed, and get to experience using more than just your visual senses, your hearing and the emotion that it invokes when you have this kind of a presentation technique. So it was interesting for me to not welcome but to cooperate together towards such a successful exhibition, and we have opened up possibilities of different ways of doing different types of exhibitions, and it was really a pleasure to be able to have such kind. We were trying to bring the story of slavery to the population that normally visits For Jesus, and not just in the traditional ways of doing the exhibitions that we've done them previously. In that kind of a medium, you are able for a person to come and sit and listen and understand and see what they have to learn about slavery. And it was an interesting opportunity for the visitors coming to For Jesus to experience not just the story of slavery, but even the way it was being presented. It was a very unique opportunity for us to disseminate the story of slavery in the fort, and it was, I believe it was well received, and there was a lot of positive reflections from it, so that we come to accept it as part of our history. It's something that in the past many people used to avoid trying to discuss it, but when you get to have it exhibited in places like this at For Jesus, then it becomes something that did happen, something that we managed to overcome, and we are able to talk and discuss it comfortably. That's the idea, when we do these temporary exhibitions, is that generally For Jesus is said to be boring, because the fort is been there for the past 400 years, and that's the reason why it was inscribed. It's been that way for the past 400 years. But we try and bring something new and interesting, so that we can have visitors have a purpose to come back again and again. So it did improve on our visitor numbers, so that we publicized it and we put posters outside, so that they know that there's something different that For Jesus is showing this time. And it was a big impact to the community, both locally and internationally.
Yeah, and just to add on that, I think that exhibition brought about visitors that normally don't come to For Jesus. Yeah, we had, because it wasn't, the exhibition was something interesting and something new. that we, as a community or as a public, we have not been talking about. So we have people who are coming who, one way or the other, relate themselves to slavery. So they really wanted to come, and they came to see the exhibition, and through that we even talked about the experiences. So I can say the exhibition brought about new public to the museum that we still work with up to today. So thanks to the exhibition, because we have people who will otherwise not come to For Jesus, but because of that exhibition, they feel somehow related to that exhibition, and they came to the museum. And up to today, in case we have researchers, we want to do more research, get more information about slavery, we know whom we can approach, we can go to and talk to.
Okay, for me, my main focus when I got this amazing opportunity is to learn about different ways in which research or information can be translated and made simple for the public. So it was important for me to visit as many museums as possible so that I can reflect back. What can I do at For Jesus? Can I do this? Is this possible to be done? So it was an amazing learning experience, especially because we moved around as much as we could. From I think we went from Nice, we went to, of course, the surrounding areas. The ability, for example, to have a museum that just showcased perfumes and flowers. I mean, for us, museums are all for archaeological and anthropological materials, but now, you know, things that connect to the lives of the people. You open up your mind to the boundaries in which museums can be off. When we look at, when we went to Paris and we get to experience Notre Dame Cathedral, we didn't go inside, but it was under restoration. And for me, the amazing bit was even the hoarding that was preventing people from going inside because there was restoration. There was also information that was being put on the outside, so that as much as you've reached the site, you're getting educated about Notre Dame, and you're getting educated about the restoration that is happening there and how the fire had brought about what was happening. So even something as simple as a hoarding to prevent people is an opportunity to educate and pass information to the people. And then, of course, Tour Eiffel and the Louvre was the cream of everything else, because, I mean, Mona Lisa and everything else, and the architecture of it, and the booking, ticketing techniques, presentation techniques, visitor management. How do you ensure that there isn't too much crowd to the facility? And those are some of the things. It was really, really amazing for me, so that I was able to learn how to translate information so that it's palatable to the public. Let's not forget, of course, at the end, we also managed to go to Bordeaux and the museum and learn about how slavery was displayed over there, and winding up at Nantes and discussing the different experiences and studies that people had gone through with reference to valorization of slavery topics. So it was, I really I have no words. It was a very enlightening experience, and I have tried very much to bring in that information here. How to make history relevant, not to just to a variety of users of history. Like, you're targeting academicians, you're targeting tourists, you're also targeting school groups and children. I remember we went to a museum, I think in Paris, the one that was very close to the mosque, and we had some interactive panels that were on the ground that were accessible for the children, so that they could learn about different animals, and they were engaged and they participated in learning different things that was available in the museum. That was also very, very exciting for me, to be able to come up with an exhibition that you can interact with and communicate and try and feed in information and learn as you are practicing. It was interesting.
Like Fatma said, it was quite a wonderful, enjoyable experience and very educative. The visits that we had to the museums, because we've been reading about the museums. Now you get to visit the museums in Paris, in Nice, in all the places that we visited, the towns we went to. And as Fatma said, getting to see how these exhibitions are being done, how they do the mounting. It's like, you know, you are reaching out to all your audience. That is something that I actually personally take it very important. Reaching out to the children. They have something, some activities for the children. They have something for the older ones. They have something for the younger ones even. That to us, that was a really major learning experience for me. And also the subjects that are being exhibited. Personally, I was very much touched when we visited museums that are talking about the subject of slavery. You know, it's how you can present slavery to the community, to the general public, without offending anyone, but make it a learning process, and where everybody, any visitor coming can feel comfortable. That's how I felt visiting the museums in France. You know, you learn about slavery, you are seeing exhibition about slavery, and you know, you quite learn and enjoy. You don't feel negative about it. That's something. And then, okay, the main museum, the Louvre Museum, as Fatma mentioned, that was something for me. I think I'll never get tired of, given another chance, I'll go back there again. It's such a huge museum. The artworks that are being displayed there and how they are being displayed is also very important to me, because you have huge artworks, small ones, Mona Lisa, how it's being displayed, and the control of visitors also. How visitors interact with the exhibition, with the artworks is also crucial for me. So basically I can say I really enjoyed myself and also learned a lot. So coming back, you feel like I've gained a lot, and that I came back with, that we have tried part of what we gained to share and maybe also use in our everyday work in the museum. Yes. Actually, the workshops are very important because there's a lot of research that has been done. So through these workshops, you get to learn the findings of this research. You get to know the people, the researchers, the professors who have done this research work. And very interesting is that you know, after their presentations, they readily share the information with us, what their research is on, and they even give further information where you can do further reading of their research. This was also very good. We get to do, you know, we got a lot of network with researchers, with museum professionals from within Africa, East Africa, West Africa, and Europe in general. And quite interesting is with my very limited French, but we actually had very good discussions with the French-speaking researchers. And it was quite interesting because you get to learn what is happening on the other side. Personally, I was actually challenged to do my PhD in terms of slavery, you know, because everybody is doing research, and you feel like, no, I should also do my part, you know, in research. So it's good we get to know research that has been done on slavery. We get to learn the findings of this research. We get to interact with the researchers, the professors. We have good network. I have references now. I know if I want something from West Africa, I have colleagues in Senegal, in Cameroun, in Mauritius, thanks to Slafnet. Yeah.
I think what is also important is it's not just the network and friends and understanding what they were researching, is the ability for them to choose that particular topic of research. It made us, or made me have the confidence to be able to attempt to research anything that I would be passionate about. I mean, anything and everything can be researched, and you can get into it in detail and understand it better, and be able to convey that information in a workshop to your colleagues and everyone. That opportunity for us on the possibilities that we can get ourselves into is also unique in that, from that workshop. That there's still so much that can be done, and there's possibilities for us to get involved in doing that also. Yeah.
I hope and I pray Slafnet will continue, because it has opened up some, you know, it's as I mentioned earlier, slavery is a very sensitive subject, but it has opened up a very sensitive subject on slavery, and it has a lot of research has been done. So we need to build up more on the research. We need to expand on the network, and I believe through Slafnet we can do this. So I hope project will continue. We'll do more research. We'll do more discussions, workshops where, you know, people can bring in there. And then we also do more exhibitions or showcasing to the general public, so that the public also becomes comfortable to talk about their experiences, to talk about their history when it comes to slavery and related issues on slavery. Yeah.
For me, I would say how to restore and maintain items or reminders of slavery, say like the Shimoni site, and buildings or structures that are related to slavery. How it's important for us not to let them disappear, because most of the time we are embarrassed by that side of history and we just allow it to deteriorate naturally. But now there is a need for us to restore and keep it and conserve it and make sure it remains as part of our history. And then, of course, aside from it continuing to exist, we need to also interpret it and give that information, as she was saying, to the public, so that it is now, it's a topic that we can comfortably discuss. And we have now the people we can reach out in the community. We have now the people we can get introduced to with reference to academics. Now we have that possibilities to expand it further into different information that we can collect, preserve, and tell the public. For me, as a curator of For Jesus, and For Jesus having been built by the Portuguese, Slafnet had provided me an opportunity to travel to Portugal, and we were well received by the network of Slafnet researchers in Lisbon, and through their reception we managed to see sites that were relevant to the history of the fort and the coast, like places where Vasco da Gama was buried, and the Maritime Museum. Yes, and things that are really relevant to the history, and how we can bring that part of history to For Jesus so that it complements the story of the Portuguese. And we managed also, by being there, we managed to create or obtain contacts for people that we can get back to, do further research, do further collaborations. So I'm very, very grateful to Slafnet for that opportunity, for having sent me or facilitated my visit to Lisbon, and connecting with the people who were involved in the actual construction of For Jesus. It was an opportunity I have no value to give it. It was, yeah.
History or their role in For Jesus through that visit, because it's sort of like revived that link between Portugal and For Jesus. Yeah.
So that was an opportunity given to me by Slafnet, through the Slafnet network also, because we were first received by the people that we knew through the network, and then became brave enough to venture further to see the architects and government departments that were involved with history of the Portuguese and see how maybe we can try and bring them on board to help us a bit about the interpretation of For Jesus and what kind of material that they have that we don't have here. It was an amazing opportunity, I must say. Yeah. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
I think it was wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Like BBC.
Oh,
Clear, interesting.
okay.
I was enjoying.
There's no need for take two.
No, it's okay. Or if you want to add